Hello, Monarch fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan. Once again, bringing in my thoughts and review for last night's episode of Monarch Legends of Monsters Season 2, Episode 6. Okay, so this episode was very interesting. It's a lot of teases for stuff to come for the following episodes, but nothing really too major happened here. Although something kind of big happened at the end that's kind of confusing, but could lead into something kind of interesting. We'll talk about that when we get there. Spoilers ahead if you have not caught up to Legacy of Monsters yet, because yeah, it's a weird ride. So this season honestly has not been super great. Story wise, it's been great. Action wise with monsters and all that, not so great. But honestly, sometimes that doesn't really bother me because if the story's still good and it captivates me, I'm good either way. But I know a lot of people who are like wondering, like, well, where the heck are the monsters? We saw the monsters a couple of times. We saw King Kong in Kong in the beginning, and we haven't seen him since. And then we haven't really seen Godzilla at all, even though they teased him. I'm pretty sure they're going to be towards the end of the show, but because I'm pretty sure this whole show is basically about the Monarch team and everybody and how Monarch, deals with all these Titans and stuff. So, yeah. So, obviously, spoilers from last week's episode. Anna Sawai's character, her father's character, he gets killed off because of the Titan. She discovers that she's got some kind of hidden ability now, apparently. And, apparently she can sense and feel these creatures, so there's that. That's interesting. We also get to see her brother deal with the fact that, he lost his father. He's grieving. The girl from who pretended to be part of Apex, she shows up, tries to comfort him. They try to do their thing. And at the funeral, they run into an old friend that they worked with in the past, back when Wyatt Russell was, playing Lee. So we got to see that. He comes back and starts talking about how he has this machine that may find a way to track down this monster that they're all haunting on the Titan X. And of course, Lee comes up with the most brilliant idea that he has. He's like, let's just call Godzilla. Let Godzilla deal with this damn thing, take him out, and we should be good. Sweep it under the rug in a way, So they decided to take the machine, go to a certain location, maybe, location where maybe Godzilla might be around, and try to summon him. While that's happening, you have Anna Sawai's character. She's she's trying to figure out like how she can connect to these creatures. Apparently she can now. So it's kind of like how if you guys watch Godzilla vs. Kong or Godzilla X Kong, where that little girl can kind of communicate with Kong. Kind of like that. Kind of like how in the old Japanese version movies where those twin girls was able to, worship Mothra and bring in Mothra when they need to. Kind of like that. So it's kind of like she's kind of like the chosen one in a way. So that's kind of interesting, but it's also dependent on how we look at it. She's testing it out. She can, I guess, she goes into the water. She can feel where this creature is, or Titan X as they call it. And they're trying to figure out where it might swim next. Because, the ocean is huge. How are they going to find it? Nobody knows. While that's happening, go back to Lee and his friend. And the two of them are still trying to find a way to contact Godzilla and see if he can come out and fight this Titan. That way, they can just not have to worry about it. Like Godzilla be like the cleaning crew, We also get a kind of a dream sequence in here where Anna Sawai's brother, he has a dream where he's hanging out with his mother and then Godzilla attacks, which honestly at this point I should have known it was a dream, because honestly I feel like the Japanese culture should have known about big titans in their town. They should be running out, just standing there looking like, wow, it's Godzilla, very cool. Because the dream sequence looks like it was actually happening, and you see the Japanese people just staring at Godzilla, and then as soon as he starts breaking the buildings, that's when they start running. Even though out of the dream they have the alerts, the alarms, everybody knows what to do, go on the ground, whatever. This dream, I should have known it was a dream, because honestly, the way they were just standing there watching Godzilla just show up and attack. And then they start running. I should have realized that was a dream, but still. Does the little foreshadowing of, yeah, Godzilla's going to fight this creature sooner rather than later. Hopefully by next week's episode, but we shall see. And speaking of by next week's episode, the way that this episode ended was very interesting because honestly, something happens. The earth starts shaking. Lee's there. Him and his friend are trying to figure out what the heck is going on. A big white light shows up. I don't know what the heck it is. Maybe they punched another hole into Hollow Earth. Who knows? And then I don't know where Lee's radio starts going, hello, hello, we need help here. And it sounds like it could be Wyatt Russell, younger Lee in the walkie-talkie, trying to communicate to somebody. So, are we about to see Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell on screen together? I don't know. It sounded like him in the radio, but honestly, I have no idea. So that was kind of interesting to see if that actually could happen. I mean, if they were able to get Anna Sawai's character's grandmother, and she looks young like the day she, started going into her adventures back in the day, anything's possible. So I would assume that could happen, where Lee from the past shows up and it's Wyatt Russell talking to his actual father, Kurt Russell, as his older self. So that would be kind of interesting to see. He'll see Anna Sawai's grandmother in here and be like, you have an age today, and you look the same too. So that could actually happen in next week's episode. Would it? I don't know, but kind of interesting to think about it. I would assume that was the voice that was calling for help in the radio, so I'm not 100% sure. At first, I thought it could have been like Sam Jackson from the Kong Skull Island area, but back in the day, it could have been that too, or John Goodman's character, but that would be cool too. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be revealed. It's gonna be Wyatt Russell. He's talking to himself and from the past. So what point of the past? No idea, but probably when they were all together. Maybe the first time they encounter that creature, who knows, in that small fisherman's village. But we have to wait and see what happens next week, and hopefully next week's episode will lead into either giving us Godzilla versus that creature, or the following episode, or even at the very end of this season. But I know all of you probably like wondering where the Titan fights. Normally I would have been like, yeah, me too, I want the Titan fights too, but I'm pretty sure, and I know this for a fact, that, this show is mostly about the humans and Monarch. And honestly, this whole season so far has not been great. I think it's okay, but I kind of wish we would have got more information. Especially, from season 1, the flashbacks were fantastic. I love the flashbacks. We got to see, the whole world of the monsters from that point of view. But in this one, I kind of wish they were still in the past, stuck on Hollow Earth or something. So, maybe exploring that world and then eventually coming back to the surface and coming back to the modern time. But we didn't get that. We only got a little bit of a glimpse of it. So maybe we'll see how Lee gets there in the first place. Or maybe that's how he comes out, younger version, and then he meets his older self. So who knows from that radio contact. But we have to wait and see. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about Monarch Season 2, Episode 6. You guys enjoying it? Not enjoying it? Gave up on the show? Don't really care? Just waited for the movies to come out? Pretty sure the movies will give us more monsters than humans, but still. Whatever it is, leave a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and have a good day.